Yasu Malaka. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off by saying that I absolutely hate this term. I mean, I get it. There's many people out there that don't know what to do during COVID, and all they have is their internet connection while they're still living at home in their 40s. And they got nothing else to do but to call out people about certain things, and they feel they should be, in brackets, canceled. Just because someone says something that you don't agree with or you're super sensitive, that doesn't mean you should ruin their lives. Now, I get it. There's people out there, yeah, they've said some racist things, sexist things, and they should be called out on it. Absolutely. But for the most part, you're just bored with your life. That's all you are. You have nothing else to do. And I know you're going to say, oh, I have no choice. I got nothing else to do during COVID. And yeah, what was your excuse for the last, 20 years living in your parents' basement? Okay, just stop complaining about every little fucking thing and get out there, do what you got to do. And you don't worry about what other people are doing, okay? Make sure that your life is in check, okay? And before you decide to ruin someone's life by just simply typing on a keyboard and putting some stupid shit on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't like this. Oh, this offends me. Oh, this is stupid.
Do your research on the person. Find out why they actually said it, how they are, and then you'll realize that they're probably a better person than you. I'll give you an example that happened recently. Bill Burr hosted Saturday Night Live. He did a great stand-up bit in the beginning there. I thought it was funny, and then the next day, everyone wants his head. Everyone's saying, oh, he said some things that were offensive, whatever. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I'm 38 years old. I just love good stand-up comedy. Bill Burr has been one of these guys that's been killing it for the last, I'm going to say, at least 5 to 10 years. He's definitely part of the top crop of stand-up comedians today. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind. He's got a great show, F is for Family, on Netflix. He's just a really funny guy. And I didn't even know he said anything offensive. But he said something. I don't give a shit what it is. And, I'm not saying they wanted to cancel him, but they were, kind of implying that. And it's like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. You know who Bill Burr is. You know the type of guy he is. He voices his opinion on everything. Just either listen to him or don't. I can't believe it's 2020 and we still have to fucking tell people, if you don't like something, don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Just go on with your boring almond milk lives and just, let the rest of us have fun and enjoy life, okay? And like I said before, I know there's certain people, yeah, they got to be called out on their shit, but Bill Burr is not one of those people, okay? So let me go on Wikipedia here, the world's encyclopedia, and let's see what they got to say about this, okay? Before I get canceled. Cancel culture or call-out culture describes a form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, either online, on social media, in the real world, or both. They are said to be canceled. Merriam-Webster defines cancel as to stop giving support to that person. And dictionary.com defines it as calling out the bad behavior, boycotting their work, such as by not watching their movies or listening to their music, and trying to take away their public platform and power. Lisa Nakamura, professor of media studies at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, defines canceling as simply a cultural boycott. in which the act of depriving someone of attention deprives them of their livelihood. The notion of cancel culture is a variant on the term call-out culture and constitutes a form of boycott involving an individual, usually a celebrity, who is deemed to have acted or spoken in a questionable or controversial manner. Now, like I said before, some people need to be called out in their shit. But for the most part, it's just people that are just bored. Bored and they have nothing else going on in their lives. They got people, like, you gotta understand something. Like, you know how hard it is to get to a certain platform of acting or stand-up or movies, TV, whatever. It takes time, guys. So imagine investing all that time. Like, sometimes it takes maybe a couple years. Sometimes it takes 5, 10, 15, 20. Who knows? And then imagine if someone just takes it away from you like that. That quick. You work your ass off your whole lifetime, and then all of a sudden, someone or just a group of people online who literally have nothing going for them just take it away. It sucks. It really sucks. I mean, there's no excuse for that. But sometimes there's such a buildup for one person that after years and years go by, all of a sudden, boom, they're just hit with it. And the biggest example probably this year is Ellen DeGeneres. Now it says here Ellen DeGeneres has been the biggest cancellation of the year, 2020. Many people accuse DeGeneres of being utterly different behind the cameras. Now, I'll tell you a little thing that I know about Ellen DeGeneres. Back in the day, she started off doing stand-up. Then she had her own show. Her show got really popular because on the show, she came out as being a homosexual. It was a big deal at that time in the 90s. Now it's not a big deal at all. Ask Lil Nas X. She was on the cover of Time magazine. After that, she got her own daytime show, whatever. And then she had a reputation of scaring people for some reason. I don't know. The point is, I always had this thought of her being this really nice person. I don't know. To me, she seemed pretty cool, in the camera, whatever, very friendly. And, now you ask people behind the scenes and you get a totally different story. And now, it's almost like treated like a court case against, like a mobster or something like that. You have RICO predicates and, you build that up to even a bigger case. So, instead of just having one story, you'll have like many stories and you can build all that up together and just, shoot down the person in one big shot. Now, it says here, it started with a bodyguard saying that she was the coldest celebrity he ever worked with. Later, many people who worked on the Ellen DeGeneres show said it was a toxic environment. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, I've worked at many places. One person can definitely ruin it for the bunch, especially if it's someone who's in charge. And, a lot of people will just let it go. A lot of people are like, I don't give a shit. But there's people that won't forget, and in the end, karma's a motherfucker and, they'll get you back. Now, I have no idea what she did here. I mean, there's lots of stories online. I'll be honest with you, I really don't give a shit, But this is a perfect example of, you have a bad rep, for a long time. People will keep it quiet, but then it just gets to a point where, they just want to end you. In this case, cancel you. So I'll just say this. I mean, this is just me. I mean, I've seen some clips on YouTube, whatever, where she just keeps scaring people. She's scaring people in bathrooms and people popping out of boxes, and even when they're interviewing people, whatever. That's weird, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you want to do it a couple times, that's fine, But first of all, one, the joke is gonna get really old, and two, I don't want to fucking how fucking old are we? Like fucking 10? Like we're popping out of closets and shit, pardon the pun, but that we're doing this, to for entertainment at someone else's expense, and it is kind of weird. And yeah, I'm not saying it started from that. I'm not saying someone got scared and I'll get you, Ellen. But who knows? I mean, people can only take so much, right? And it kind of, I'm sure that didn't help, but I don't know, But this is a perfect example of, you create a bad work environment, then people are gonna want to end you, man. So my best advice to you is one, Ellen, stop scaring people. Okay, I don't know what happened to you in your past, but something's got to give here. Okay, Halloween comes once a year, and even then, people don't like being scared. And two, make sure your staff is taken care of. Okay, make sure they feel comfortable. Make sure they like working for you. I'm sure they'll say certain things behind your back. It is what it is. But can she bounce back from this? I don't know. Who knows? I heard like Drew Barrymore took over the show or something, and I don't know. She seems like a sweetheart too. I don't know. She showed her tits to Letterman back in the day, and she's cleaned up her act, and now she's got the chance to, I don't know, take over, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? That's the problem with this. It's like an assembly line. If one toy breaks, the next one just comes right behind them, So, it's like people that deal drugs. Okay, you get the top kingpin there, the next one's just going to move right in. So, you want to cancel one person, the next person will just move right in there. You just get renewed or a revival or whatever the fuck. It's just going to keep going. So, I don't know. Did they do any revenge against Ellen? I guess. I don't know. Can she come back? Who knows? But, you got to be nice to your people. I'm not saying she wasn't. I wasn't there. I don't know. All I'm saying is you can only scare people so much. Just joking. I'm only going to do that one time. The point is, I'm not going to overkill it, and just make sure your staff is taken care of, or else they're going to get you. Yeah. Anyways, going back to Wikipedia here. Academic views. According to the social psychologist Jonathan Hadid, call-out culture arises from what they call safetyism on college campuses. According to Keith Hampton, professor of media studies at Michigan State University, the practice contributes to the polarizing of American society, but it does not lead to changes in opinion. Some students are afraid to express unpopular ideas for fear of being called out on social media, and may avoid asking questions as a result. Call-out culture's prevalence makes marginalized groups feel even more hesitant to speak out for what they feel is right. Political scientist Francis E. Lee states that call-out culture leads to self-policing of wrong, oppressive, or inappropriate opinions. This is what it comes to, folks? Man, we're living in a really sad world. I'm sorry, And again, I know what's going on in the world because of COVID. More people are doing basically everything online, from working to, paying your bills and all that shit. But, like it says here, now it's getting to a point now where people can't even express their opinions online. And they're afraid to do it because what people will say. Again, I can't repeat this enough. Who gives a flying fuck what people say? Like, why do we care so much about what people say? Just in general. Like, forget just doing shit online. Just, like, why do we care so much? Why? And I get it. Like, sometimes, we say we don't care. And in the back of our minds, we'll read a comment here or there. And, I don't think enough people listen to my podcast that people can comment, so I just assume I'm doing a good job. But the point is, a lot of people, read their comments and, this person looks ugly, I don't like what this person's saying, this person's stupid, and a lot of people take that to heart, But really think about where these comments are coming from. Again, they're coming from, I mean, they're coming from losers. Let's just be honest. I mean, we don't even know these people. They don't have the balls to say it to your face. I'm one of these people, unless you say it to my face, it doesn't mean anything. And even then, I probably don't give a shit either, you know? But, you know, that, again, I'm 30 years old. I'm from the older school, whatever, you know? But, I mean, people that are, let's say, I'm assuming at least, you know, like 10 to 15, I mean, you know how to use a cell phone by now. You know, I've seen kids in strollers have cell phones. You know, they might be just playing a simple game, whatever, but they know what to do. And by the time you reach a certain age, you know, you're going to be, you know, into social media and all that. And, you know, a lot of what people say online is going to be your ultimate opinion of what they think of you. And and most of these people you will never even meet. You won't even actually talk to. You're just reading off of all these like message boards and YouTube and, you know, whatever the fuck, you know, Facebook and, you know, like who cares? Who cares? You know, but it's a sad world where, you know, like most of these people do care because that's all they recognize. You know, they're not out there like in groups or, you know, having a coffee with someone or, you know, going to a bar and shooting the shit, you know, anymore. You know, everything's done online and through webcams and all this shit and, you know, through Zoom and but this is what they're used to. So, you know, it sucks. I feel really bad for the younger generation, you know. I mean, it's cool because they know like technology way before like my generation did, but at the same time, this is all they're used to. They're not used to like face-to-face, you know, comments, you know, and even if they were, like, they don't know how to deal with it, you know. I remember as a kid growing up in the 90s, you basically say the wrong thing to someone, either one of two things happen. You either get the shit beaten out of you, or, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. But, you know, and then maybe afterwards you resolve it with the person, you become friends, you know, you steal a beer from your parents' fridge, you whatever, you just shoot the shit. That's it, you know, I mean, nothing happened. But now, you know, like, it doesn't work like that, you know? You know, I mean, cyberbullying was a big thing in the thousands, I guess, and now, you know, it's just, now jerk-offs run the internet, you know, like, and they just want to, you know, call you out on your shit. And again, like, they'll call you out on shit that you did years ago, you know? Like Jimmy Fallon had to say he was sorry for, like, what was it, dressing in, like, blackface or something, like, years ago. It's like, and, like, I get it. Like, you know, if you're, listen, I'm just going to put this out there. If you're a white guy and you dress as, you know, like a black guy or blackface, whatever, you know, like you know, like even if you fall in a thing of mud head first and you take a picture of it, you know, you're stupid. I mean, just, you shouldn't do it, you know. But back in the day, you know, I guess it was funny to do it. I guess, I mean, depending on the person that did it, and, you know, it just. I don't know. I mean, when Eddie Murphy did the whole, you know, on Saturday Night Live there, when he dressed up as a white guy, I mean, I thought that was fucking hilarious. I wasn't offended as a white guy. I thought it was just funny, you know. But again, I get why black people think that's racist, and it is, you know. But at the same time, it's weird that he has to apologize for something that he did years ago. Like, why didn't you call him out then? You know what I mean? Like, we're calling him out now because the younger generation is sensitive, and, you know, a lot of these people don't even know who Jimmy Fallon was on Saturday Night Live, and, you know, like, they don't know that he did shitty movies before he became like a host, and, you know, it's just, and now he's got to apologize for this shit, and, you know, and even like, what was it, a year ago or something like that, like, they brought up John Wayne's name. Now, John Wayne, okay, he is one of the best cowboys on screen of all time. We all know that. But then they brought up some interview that he did in like the 60s, 70s, whatever. And it was just, he was talking about race and whatever. And I'm like, first of all, the guy's been dead for like how long now? Like 40, 45 years or some shit? Like, you know, and you're trying to, he's dead, man. Like, what more do you want? Like, what do you want him to do? Like, you know, like, fucking pull a Carrie, you know, come out of the grave. I'm sorry, pilgrims. You know, like, I mean, fuck. Like, what else can he do? You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. We're calling out on people and on shit they did years ago. Like, shut the fuck up. Just go on with your life. You know what I mean? Like, you're just. Like, this is where society is really bored, and it's a combination of just stupid people online, and people bored during COVID, and you're just picking the bones at this point. Literally, like the guy's bones is in the ground. Like, I mean, like, what do you expect him to do, or his family to come out and apologize and shit? Like, who cares? Who cares? You have no life whatsoever. Like I said, move out of your parents' basement. Get the fuck out there, okay? I know it's tougher now, during COVID. I get it. But again, what was your excuse for the first 20 years? You lazy assholes. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I really am. Like, I can't stand this term, okay? That's why I wanted to do this podcast today about this. I just, it's frustrating. Like, it really is, My biggest fear one day too, like I'm not gonna lie, like one day I've done all these podcasts, and I'm sure I've said something stupid, including probably today. Someone's gonna call me out on it and probably call me sexist, racist, blah blah blah. You know what? I got both middle fingers up. Okay, come get me. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. None of us are perfect. Okay. But like I said, some people, yeah, they do deserve it. If you treat people with disrespect, yeah, expect karma to bite you in the ass one day. And it's going to come back and they're going to get you, But at the same time, like, don't fault somebody because they lived in a certain time and they didn't, know, like what is wrong then is wrong now. And, like I'm watching Mirrored with Children right now. Okay. It's one of my favorite shows growing up. Okay. I can't even tell you like over half the things I've seen in this show. Like I'm only I just finished season 3. I'm on season 4 now. I mean, there's tons of shit that would not fly today. We all know that. The show is funny, but would I go out there and say the things, do the things? No, because I'm not stupid. Like, I know better. It's just a TV show, and that's another thing too. Like, people are doing things on TV and movies and. I remember when Green Book came out, people were giving shit to Viggo Mortensen, for acting, like his role in the movie there. He's playing a guy. It's based on a true story. He's playing an actual guy. And the poor guy had to go out in real life and apologize for playing that role. If that was me, I'd tell you, go fuck yourself. I'm playing a role. I'm playing a person that actually said this. Went through this, and even if it wasn't a real person, would you really like expect me to act any different? Would you expect me to apologize for something I'm doing in a fictional role? If it was fictional, this is fucking insane. Holy shit, and people cooped up in their houses all fucking day because of COVID, and it's just gonna make them more nuttier, and it's just. Guys, it's insane. I'm telling you, you gotta open your eyes. Okay? Like, this is bullshit. All right? Let me continue. Before you cancel me, of course. Some academics proposed alternatives and improvements to cancel culture. Critical multiculturalism. Professor Anita Bright proposed calling in contrast to calling out, to bring forward its idea of accountability, but in a more humane, humble, and bridge-building light. Clinical counselor Anna Richards, who specializes in conflict medication, says that learning to analyze our own motives when offering criticism helps call out culture worked productively. So basically the one person is saying, you know what? Instead of just, saying something is wrong and just criticizing the person, you're this, you're that, blah, 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 just one after another, choom, choom, choom. Like, just, really think about what you're doing to that person. And does this person really deserve it? And the other person's saying, from what I'm getting here, just, offer criticism that's actually good, not just saying you suck or you should be canceled or you shouldn't be able to do this anymore or what you're doing is wrong. Why don't you say something to, if you feel like what this person is doing is really wrong, say, you know what, you're doing this wrong. I would go about it this way. I would maybe try it this way, maybe blah, 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 blah. Just, offer something, The odds of the person actually listening to you is, pretty rare, especially if they're old school, But at the same time, it's just, you'll come across as more educated. Okay? You can't just, say, oh, this person sucks. I've hated this person for years. I know this person always felt like this. Yeah, how'd you know the person always felt like this? Okay, so you always knew about the person, but now you're, deciding to, wake up and jump on the bandwagon because all these other people are making fun of them. So, okay, so yeah, I'm going to make fun of them too. It's just, it's sad. It's really sad, Like, I'll give you another example, like Roseanne. Okay, so, we all know what she said. She said it online. She said she was, on medication or something, made her da-da-da-da-da. I'm not going to lie to you. I always liked Roseanne. I always thought she was really funny. But realistically, okay, we knew how she was before. She's always been like this. It's not like, she was a nun before this. We knew how she was. And she's been called out on shit before. But now because of the whole, social media thing and, you say the wrong thing on Twitter, you're fucked, And I've always said this, if you put something in print, even if you're on drugs or drunk or whatever, it doesn't matter if you're doing this at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. at night, it's going to look bad because it's in print. If I put fuck you in print, that's what it means. Fuck you. But if I say like fuck you, I could be like, fuck you, fuck off, fuck. I could say it, it's in a joking way, whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But when you put something in print, it is absolutely impossible to see it for anything like it is. And, she shouldn't have said what she said. I'm not condoning what she said. I'm not going to repeat what she said because it's pretty fucked up. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, you knew how she was before. So I don't know why people are surprised by this. So the whole canceling culture on this is that realistically, I mean, if this was years ago, she would have been canceled a long time ago. So I don't know why we care now. It's like going back to the John Wayne thing. Well, we knew this, how he felt before. Why don't we call him out now? Because it's a different time and people think differently, and it's just I don't know. It's weird. I think. Like I said before, I think a lot of people just jump on the bandwagon, and it just depends how much attention you get. You might get a little attention, like the thing I mentioned with Bill Burr. This isn't going to affect his career. Like, Bill Burr's fucking hilarious, this isn't going to affect his career at all, okay? Like, the people are going to say, oh, I'm going to stop listening to Bill Burr. I'm going to stop watching his show. Fuck off. Like, we don't care. You know what I mean? We know this is how he is, and it's cool. He didn't mean it in an offensive way. It's just, it is what it is. Like, he's got the balls to say what's on his mind, And that's and that's another problem with today's world. Let's just be honest. And this is why this canceling culture is what it is. No one's got the balls to say what's on their minds. And if they do say it, they might think of it as, oh, it's criticism or it's whatever, and they're afraid they're going to get called on it. Like we read here, or like I read here before. People are afraid to put their opinions online because they know what's going to happen. United States, freedom of speech. There should be a little line underneath that says, at what cost? Something to think about. But anyways, it says here, reactions. The expression cancel culture has mostly negative connotations and is commonly used in debates on free speech and censorship. Former U.S. President Barack Obama warned against social media call-out culture, saying that people who do really good stuff have flaws. People who you are fighting may love their kids and, share certain things with you. U.S. President and dickhead Donald Trump criticized cancel culture in a speech on July 3rd, 2020, comparing it to the total literationism and claiming it is a political weapon used to punish and shame dissenters by driving them from their job and demanding their submission. Well, first of all, I think it's ironic that of all fucking people, Donald Trump is saying this shit. You know.
I have COVID. I beat COVID.
Fuck off. Anyways, yeah, I already talked about that shit. Anyways, yeah, I mean, again, we're not perfect, guys, okay? Everybody out there, let's just be honest, at a certain point, you know, maybe in your 20s, 30s, maybe even in your 40s, you're going to fuck up. You're going to say the wrong thing. Should you be penalized for it for the rest of your life? Fuck no. But if you really do think like this for a very long time, and if you think that, you know, you can just live your life, you know, by hating someone or just mistreating someone and thinking someone is different just because of the color of the skin or whatever, and you can get away with that shit, okay, then yeah, you got another thing coming. But at the same time, you know, if you do or say something, one thing in your life, I mean, it shouldn't cost you your whole career, you know? Mel Gibson. Hey, there's a name you don't hear a lot. Remember that guy? Lethal Weapon. Made a bunch of money on those, you know, church movies and, you know, the Egyptians and whatever. I don't know. You know, he said some shit, man. I mean, that, there's no defending that one. You know. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, he's still making movies. He's still in movies. Still directing movies, you know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I loved Hacksaw Ridge. I thought that was a great movie, you know. But at the same time, you know, you say like Mel Gibson, then people are gonna think you're a racist and all this shit. And you know, it just, you know, he was kind of canceled, I guess. I mean, you know, but at the same time, he's still doing it on a low level, maybe, you know, and yeah. You know, so even if you do try to cancel somebody, I mean, you could affect their career a little bit, but at the same time, they could still keep going. You know, I mean, like what is a full? I mean, canceled. Like when something is fully canceled, it's done. You know, cancel culture. Okay, so you want to like, you know, maybe slow down their career sometimes. Maybe you fully want to stop them, but they got such a fan base, a lot of these people. Like, you can't stop them. Let's take Eminem, for example, okay? Eminem, one of the best rappers of all time. When he first started out, sexist. You know, all these, like, disturbing lines he would say in his songs and everything. I mean, they wanted to end him quick. Can you imagine if Eminem came out today with this shit? Like, forget it. Like, he'd be done. Like, he wouldn't get past the first album. But back then, you know, they tried to do that as well. Didn't really work. I mean, social media wasn't really that big of a thing yet. I mean, it sort of was, not really. You know, it's kind of late 90s, early 2000s. You know, we're still kind of testing the waters, see what works, whatever. You know, at one point they called him a homophobe because of his lyrics. And what did he do? He performed with Elton John, okay? When you perform a song with Elton John, there's no way you can be called a homophobe anymore. It's pretty much impossible, okay? So, yeah, he basically shut everybody up with that one. You know, but at the same time, yeah, you know, I mean, I don't think he's as harsh with his lyrics or shocking as he was back in the day, but you know, it's called growth, guys. You know, again, you know, should the guy be faulted for something he did like years ago? I mean, I didn't mind. You know, it's just music, you know. I mean, if the guy was really like this in real life, he'd be, you know, facing 50 to 100 in jail right now. Okay? You know, on the song 97 Bonnie and Clyde. I mean, the whole song is just basically like a blueprint of how he killed his wife and he's with his daughter. And, you know, you can see on the cover of the Slim Shady LP, you know, that's where the song comes from. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it's one of his best songs. It's a very disturbing song, I'll give you that, but it's a great song. I mean, just the way he did it, you know. It's kind of making fun of like just the two of us, with Will Smith, and that was for a remake of the other guy, whatever. And yeah, it was just a good song, But again, I don't think this guy's gonna go out and do this shit. I'm just enjoying the music. It's entertainment, So, again, if you don't like something, don't listen to it. Don't watch it. Okay? I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones. I don't like Star Trek. I don't like Star Wars. I don't like Star anything. The point is, I don't want it canceled. I just don't watch it. That's it. Walking Dead, fuck, I don't care. Grey's Anatomy, I don't care. Watch it. What else? I don't care. Again, I don't care. Just just don't bug me. I don't care. As long as it doesn't affect me, There's too many commercials on YouTube. That I would like canceled. Other than that, I don't give a shit. I don't care. We're very, very sensitive. I don't know how. What happened, guys? I mean, I get it. And I remember back in the day, it was bad to be a nerd. Then it was cool to be a nerd, and now the angry nerds run the internet, and and now you don't even have to be a nerd. You don't even have to be smart. All you need is an internet connection, and you can just make fun of whoever you want and control someone's career. And it's sad, man. It is really sad. Again, if you don't like something, don't watch it. That's it. I was just reading this thing here. It says, regarded as one of the best movies of all time, Gone with the Wind. It is a long fucking movie, but it's a great movie. And it says here, it was revealed that a new streaming service, HBO Max, pulled Gone with the Wind from its library amid increased racial tensions. The 1939 film, which takes place in an Atlanta plantation, won 8 Oscars, including Best Picture, and made history by propelling Hattie McDaniel to become the first black woman to win an Oscar for her performance. However, the film has been criticized in recent years for its problematic depictions of black people. Yeah, no shit. The film was made in 1939. Why are we surprised by this, guys? Okay? Why? I'll be honest with you. During COVID, whatever, we're going back, we're watching TV shows, movies. I watched all 3 movies of The Karate Kid, okay? There's a couple racial slurs that are thrown into that one, okay? And this is during the 80s, whatever. And am I surprised? No, because it's a movie that was made in the 80s, still people, were being racist and doing tons of coke in the 80s. And, I watch Goodfellas, Godfather, Casino, am I offended by all these racist, stereotypes? Not really, but at the same time, I get it. That was the time. Okay, so now we know better. But why are we going back in time and calling out these people that, first of all, again, I don't think any of the cast is alive. I mean, the most offensive thing to me about Gone with the Wind was, Hattie McDaniel, I heard, won the Oscar, like I just said, but she wasn't even allowed to walk the red carpet, that's fucking crazy, but I just don't know why we're going back. We already know this shit, you know what I mean? We know this is offensive, but to pull it out of, rotation, out of whatever streaming service you watch your movies is just, it's stupid. It really is, the movie's still going to exist. It's not like you're erasing the movie from history. And I get, yeah, a lot of shit what they did back then was wrong. Obviously, it was 1939, but again, I don't know why we're going back in time and, and figuring all this out now, First of all, it just makes us look lazy and stupid, because we didn't say anything back then. Okay, so now, years later, now we're saying something. Okay, so is that going to change what happened? No. Is it going to make people feel better? No. Who cares? You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make up a new rule. Okay? Now, if you guys want to follow me on this, fine. If not, fuck it. I don't care. Here's the new rule. If you do something stupid, something racist, something sexist, if you do something that pisses people off, that they feel is wrong, you have 1 month to call them on it. So let's say if I did something stupid today, which if a lot of people listen to this podcast is a good idea. But I'm just saying you have 1 month to call people out on it. Okay? You can't do something today and then 50 years later call them out on it. You just can't. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Okay? And I'm not talking like like a crime, an actual crime. I'm talking like if you say something stupid, a comment or whatever, you have to say it right away. You got to call them on their shit then. You got 1 month, 30 days. Not 29, not 31. It's a 30-day month. That's it. That's it. Other than that, I don't want to hear it. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's past due. It doesn't matter. It's old news. Okay? Enough of this shit. Okay? So, from now on, if you see something stupid, or if you see somebody doing something that you feel is offensive, you have 1 month to call them out on it. That's it. That's it. Okay? Other than that, get out of your parents' basement, get out of your parents' house, get a job, go out there, make something yourself. Stop worrying about everybody else but yourself. Okay? Fix your own fucking life and stop worrying about everyone else's. Okay? And if you don't like it, you want an Italian stereotype right here. I'm going to grab my canonis. Go fuck yourself. Okay? I'm going to keep doing what I want, voice my opinion. It's my podcast. Go fuck yourself. Okay? You can call me on some other shit, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. Okay? Me and my 3 listeners are doing just fine without you. So, in the future, like I said, do what makes you happy. But at the same time, be aware of the repercussions. Make sure you don't offend anybody. But at the same time, maybe if you do, have something to back it up. And if you're someone out there listening to this person say their things and you want to call them out on it, go ahead. It's your given right. But again, deal with the consequences. And keep in mind, you're ruining someone's future. You wouldn't want someone doing that to you. So if you're going to do that to someone, make sure you have the facts. Make sure you're aware of what you're doing. Make sure that you really, really feel passionate about what you're doing, and make sure that they really deserve it. And I got news for you people that want to be part of the cancel culture and ruin other people's lives. Realistically, it's like when you make fun of somebody, you're really describing yourself. So it's the same thing in this case. When you want to ruin somebody, your life is probably shit, and you just want everyone else to feel like shit like you do. But you know what? We're going to keep going. And if someone wants to cancel you just because they're an insecure prick, just tell them one thing. Fuck you. Even if a show gets canceled, if a show is good enough, it'll come back. Perfect example of that is Family Guy. Now, Family Guy is one of the funniest cartoons of all time. 3 seasons aired, it got canceled. You know why? I'm asking. I have no idea. Like, even at the time, I didn't understand it. I remember the show premiered right after the Super Bowl. The next week, we're all at school. We were like, holy fuck, this show is awesome, Got canceled for a bit, and then the DVD sales went through the roof. It's either between that or Dave Chappelle's show that, they set records, whatever, and the show came back, and after that, they basically have a license to steal. Cutaways are fucking awesome. That's what makes the show. And a lot of them are, very controversial, and, people give them shit, but the show keeps going. My point is that if something is that good, it's just gonna come back, even if it does get canceled. So you can cancel something, but people that really love it, really love that specific show or movie or music, like it'll never truly get canceled because it'll just keep going. You can't erase it from the face of the earth. Worst case scenario, you always have a song to listen to. You always got the movie to look back at. You got the TV show. You can always look at it online and watch the shows over and over again. But whatever you're trying to cancel, just make sure it's worth canceling. And here's the thing to remember. Just because you don't like something, that doesn't mean it deserves to be canceled. Maybe you're the one that should be canceled. And you're the reason because of this disease that's called cancel culture.